My name is Steve Swatek. I retired in 2011, so March 31st of this year I will be retired 8 years. I started working for Garney in 1983 as an estimator / project manager. I was in the Kansas City office for a couple, 3 months, moved to Austin, Texas, and opened our Austin, Texas office. My wife moved down shortly thereafter, and we lived in Austin until 1990. And 1990, at that point in time, I moved to Oklahoma City for a year and then ended up back in Kansas City. At that time, I was made an officer in 1991 and stayed that way. I was made a senior vice president in the early 2000s and retired as a senior vice president in charge of our estimating and our out-of-town crews. Well, the ESOP is great. Let me just say that to begin with. The ESOP has affected me in so many positive ways. From the time that it started, I was here in 1986 when Charles really started the ESOP. And it didn't grow very fast, very quick. As a matter of fact, it went down at first. But starting in the 90s, once we bought Charles Garney out in 95 and had all of it, we were in a little bit of debt to Charles at that time, but we paid that off relatively quick, and the ESOP basically has almost gone straight up. It has allowed my wife and I to do extensive travel around the world. We probably travel about 3 months of the year. We own a house in Platte City, the same one we built in 2001. We also own a house at the lake, at Grand Lake in Oklahoma. We own a condominium between Puerto Vallarta and Cancun in Mexico. And we are not sitting around doing nothing. We are having a great time, and it's all because of the ESOP. But we've been to Australia, we've been to Asia, we've been all over Europe. We've been to Africa. In Africa, we've been on safari for a month in several different safaris. We went to Zanzibar and stayed on a private island outside of Zanzibar. The experiences we have been able to do were unheard of, or at least unthought of by us until we got our ESOP, and we're having a great time. One of the coolest things that we have done was our trip to Africa. We started out in South Africa and made our way up to Tanzania. We were literally staying close to the Mara River, which is where the migration comes, and they cross the river. And we were amongst a pride of lions in one place. There were probably 14 lions between the males and females, 3 or 4 cubs, and if we had wanted to, we could have reached out and almost touched them from the vehicle we were in, and yet our driver, our guide, he didn't have a gun, and he knew that they wouldn't do anything as long as we were quiet and stayed in the vehicle. But it was cool, and we are planning a trip to go back to Africa in 2 years. This year, our big trip is going to be to Italy and Greece. We have chartered a boat with another couple to take us around the Greek islands for 7 days, sorry. But we'll be gone total on the trip for about 16 days. We have trusts set up for our daughter and granddaughter, and they will be a huge beneficiary of what the ESOP has done. Quite frankly, without the ESOP, we couldn't have already done as much for them as we already have. And it allows me, when we're in Kansas City, to play duplicate bridge 3 days a week. I also travel around the United States playing duplicate bridge with different people when we're in the United States. But as far as our family goes, we leave this coming Saturday for Mexico because it's spring break with my daughter and my granddaughter. We've taken them on Disney cruises. We're just having a great time, and they're able to participate the best they can. Our dreams before we retired, we mainly wanted to travel and enjoy ourselves and be able to do some things that we wanted to do. Besides traveling, as I mentioned, I play duplicate bridge a lot. My wife volunteers at Children's Mercy. Children's Mercy is dear to our heart and always will be. So we do a lot of things at their events. And it's an amazing life that we knew was possible, but we just didn't know we were going to be able to do it all. And our health has held up, and we hope to continue at least. My goal originally was to do as much travel until age 70. I'm 68 now, and we're extending the goal to age 75. I don't know if our energy will let us do the world travels that we've done. So here in the near future, we are going to start seeing more of the United States, and because we will have gotten most of our long trips out of the way. The best thing I could tell anybody that has questions about the ESOP and wonders if it's really a true thing maybe, would be do your job, be yourself, be cognizant of everything going on around you, and know everything you're doing contributes to the bottom line for that ESOP. And if you can do that, you will be a great employee and you will be greatly rewarded upon your retirement. It's a great life. I don't know what else to say. It's just absolutely a great life, and stay in there, hang in there, do what you do best, do it correctly, and do what they preach at every ESOP meeting. Don't throw the hammer down and let it go away. Don't break the shovel. Do everything you can do and do it the best you can, and the ESOP will continue to grow.